world's toughest and largest exam, the Gaokao. Over 9.75 million students have registered for China's annual National College Entrance Examination, the highest in 8 years. It is considered a relatively fair way to screen and select candidates for higher education institutions and will have a large impact on their future.
Students across China are recovering right now after completing the strenuous Gaokao national exam.
China has been doing a lot to improve the exams and its education system.
The Gaokao seems to be the fairest way for all able students to move upwards.
Congratulations to all the high school seniors who finished the Gaokao. You did it!
Although the Gaokao is seen as China's equivalent of the US's SAT test, the two systems are quite different. Your 3-digit Gaokao score is the sole determinant to university admission in China, and it only takes place once a year. So let's hear what people think about the world's toughest exam.
Má, lấy cho má một phân. Dạ. Con có biết không, đây là mảnh gấm còn sót lại từ đời bà tổ. Để có được nhà may thanh nữ như hôm nay, cả chính đời nhà ta phải cắt may áo dài theo những công đoạn này. Khó nhất á, là xếp tà, xếp sao cho khéo, cho hai tà phải úp. Chả ai muốn mặc một cái áo dài tà dạt cả. Chú ý chỗ chiếc ben phải xớt ngay đúng eo thì nhịp chân mới dài được. Kế đến á, là các khâu viền cổ, viền tà, viền tay, đường viền phải nhuyễn. Áo dài mới đẹp. Thợ cắt phải canh sao cho đúng thì tà mới úp mông, không bị dạt tà. Vải có hoa văn lại càng phải canh chỉ cho đối xứng, tà trước tà sau. Luôn chỉ sao cho áo phải bám người. Tình tế nhất của người thợ may nằm ở chỗ đó. Mỗi người, mỗi tạng, còn nhớ nha.
Editor anymore. More time to be in the Forbidden Fjord.
Okay, yeah, wait. We need to discuss the name. Rory, where are you on the Forbidden Fjords? Oh my god. Rory, are you okay?
I'm fine. Do you hate your hair?
Because you can change it.
So easy.
No, I love my hair. It's nothing. It's stupid.
It's not nothing. What is it?
Everything's just ending. I just feel like everything is gonna be over. I'm done at the paper. Soon I'm gonna be done at Yale, and it's just like I'm standing on this cliff, looking out into this huge, foggy abyss. Like a huge, foggy abyss. And in my whole life, there's never been an abyss. It's been abyssless. I've always known exactly what is in front of me, and I've always known exactly where I'm going. And now, I don't know what's out there.
Besides fog.
A ton of fog, and I hate not knowing what is out there. I mean, what's gonna happen with my career and my relationship with Logan and the rest of my life?
Rory.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to drag everything down.
I so know what you're talking about.
Totally. Really?
Are you kidding? Once I move that tassel to the other side, I have no idea what the hell I'm gonna do. I mean, besides that FBI gig. I'm an art major. Not like that's an obvious road sign to the rest of my life.
I can't believe you guys worry about this. I mean, you're so carpe diem-ish.
And how could you not be worried about it? Everywhere you turn on campus, someone's talking about their brilliant plans for next year.
I mean, even our friends who are really cool and laid back, English majors, philosophy majors, they're talking about becoming investment bankers.
When did that happen?
Traders. The other day, somebody used the phrase negative amortization. What the hell is that? I have no idea what I'm doing. Maybe I should be applying to grad schools. I mean, journalism school or law school. Maybe I should go to law school.
Dude, you don't want to go to law school.
I so don't want to go to law school.
Okay, in Japan, we have school lunches where everyone eats the same food, including the teacher. In the classroom, the teacher teaches in a one-sided manner and debates between students and teachers are there, as there in American classes. And all students in Japan are aware of their role and consciousness as a member of a group. And a symbolic representation of this is the school rules. Next slide, please. Okay. And basically, there are many school rules, and many of them are strict. And for example, we wear uniforms to school all year round, and we all wear the same gym clothes to PE class. And the school uniform also has various restrictions, such as the length of the skirts must be below the knee. And there are also restrictions on their hairstyle and hair color. And many schools prohibit undercut, for example, and if you violate it, you will be forced to cut your hair immediately. So if you are not born with black hair, you will need to show the proof that your natural hair is that color. There are just a few of the school rules that have been introduced here.
I think it's pretty similar to how we do it in Vietnam. I guess just because of the proximity of, Japan and Vietnam and even China, like the way, the education system works is that we sit in like separate tables and, we do our own things. And then we have a homeroom teacher come in and out. The students don't necessarily move as compared to when I watch like American TV shows. I feel like the students move a lot more. They have their lockers outside, or they're required to move to different like lab classes or, to different classrooms. Unlike, how we do it, we sit in one class and the teacher sort of comes in and comes out depending on what subject it is. So I guess there are a lot of similarities in that sense. And also uniform wise, we like to wear the same uniform because you don't want to, have someone of like, who can't afford clothing, be compared with other people who are able to afford that kind of thing. So I think it's similar in that way.
I think America has a lot of differences with that. Even though some schools do have school uniforms, as you can see from the video clip that I showed, all the girls in there had like different hair colors and stuff, which is very different than what Miki was saying about the hair color restrictions. So yeah, I would say it's pretty different.
Okay, great. And now I would like to talk more about like my video clip. And since my video clip is about Gaokao, which is like one of the most important tests in China, it's like from the high school to the college in this period, and all the students have to been through this test in China. And as you see in the video, it's like before that, it's like many people regard this as a chance to get a new life for their whole families, to change the social status as well, because they believe education can change the face of the family. In that case, it also makes the task like extremely stressful and hard sometimes. So yeah, what do you guys think about it?
In Japan, there's similar exam like the central exam. It's pretty important, but it's not important as China because it's only used for like entering like the university or college, but it's extremely hard as well. So it's pretty similar to China in Japan.
I mean, I can't really fully understand how, intensive and hard it is because I didn't go through that, but we do have something similar at home. and I went through that before I studied abroad. And there are a couple of ways people do it at home. Like, you just straight up study and then you go to college. And that grade is literally your entire life. Like, if you don't get the grade necessary to get into the school, then you kind of have to take another year or something like that. But the other route is like, like what I did, like went through it. So like in the sense that I graduated the K to 12 system and then I went to study abroad. But that still means that I went through that. And it was definitely like very intensive, like a whole year long thing. And it's kind of like accumulative of your 12 years of education. So you want it to be good. And before, the whole idea of study abroad was brought up and was, common like that was, everyone's livelihood. Like it's very important that you make sure you get into a good school and that you make your parents proud, your family proud by getting to that school. And so I can understand like how hard it must be for those individuals who, have to experience that and have that pressure from their family, from themselves, and even from society, because those grades are critical. And it's such a hard experience to have to go through that at such a young age because these individuals are so very young. Kind of went backwards on the thinking a little bit, and I don't know if many people know this. They just know Aozai as like a traditional dress from our country, but it's also a uniform that a lot, like all the students in Saigon, which is, I believe the southern part of our country, wears to school on certain days, a couple of years ago. And nowadays they just wear it on, I think, on Mondays. And the video was kind of from a movie. It's a scene from a movie in 2017 called Tailor. And it's talking about the process that goes into making these clothing, these works of art. And it's very hard. And sometimes it's even like a profession, like families, like generations after generation dedicate their, their life into making this and preserving this type of art forms. It's not just, whatever you wear to school. And I think in a way, it speaks to the idea of collectivism in the sense that, you feel empowered when you're wearing the same type of clothing, but especially this is for, women, like young women are empowered, to go to school, to make a difference, and then to wear this, like, this piece of clothing that's representative of their country and the history. So the history of this was actually born, under the rule of the Lord Nguyen Phu Quat, and he actually, kind of made this clothing to separate and establish his emperor from another, emperor. And so the basic, the initial meaning was to separate yourself from something. But nowadays, I think, there's a layer of collectivism, the idea of having a shared identity within the sense of, individualistic. So like not, all Aozais are different and everyone is different. So even if you're wearing the same color, the same design, you're not going to be the same person. So there is, within that kind of idea that you're wearing the same thing, you're still very individual. And I think that's very true to, all kinds of cultures that we've come across and we're going to encounter later on.
Very cool, like many people wearing same clothes outside, but it's different. So they can like represent your country or culture. But in Japan, we don't have such culture. So I think it's very good.
The clip that I chose is from the TV show Gilmore Girls, which many of you probably have seen it before. And I chose this clip because I think it connects to collectivism in the sense that they're talking about their classmates who were art majors or philosophy majors or English majors, and they all kind of end up, as she said, investment bankers. And I just think that it's kind of ironic because in America, we are typically thought of as a very individualistic culture where people are more free to pursue what they're interested in academics, but the societal norm kind of pushes students in a certain direction. So that's what I thought the clip spoke to. I don't know if anyone in my group had any thoughts about it.
Because I think the free will is still like a much more important in the US compared to the most Asian countries. I mean, these days maybe the ideology got more mixed and they're gonna be more flexible and the boundary gonna be like more blurred, like what you can do or what actually your family wants you to do. And even in the US, I know there's gonna families also gonna be strict for your life choice as well. But however, I still think in the US, it's like more respect to the individual's free will because in the Asian, we still like put the family's important much more compared to the individual's willings as well.
I studied abroad to US college, so university. So and I had to like do registration to decide what I will take classes. And I could choose the class of art, and I really surprised about that, like because we have no classes like that in Japan. So and I think it's really interesting that we can pass through like what we want to do through classes.